All right, to get started in building your website, we're first going to do a quick review, and then I'm going to share a resource that will be an aid to you as you work on your website this week. So last class period, we talked about 3 things that you need in order to set up a website: a domain, hosting, and a content management system, or a CMS. We're actually going to start with the host, cloudaccess.net. We're using this host because they allow us a free option where we can set up a website and not have to pay anything in setting that website up. The only way that they're offering us this free website is by allowing us a subdomain. So last time we talked about a subdomain versus a regular domain. When you're setting up your business, normally you want to have just a domain. So paulwilson.com would be just the domain. But because Cloud Access is giving us free resources, they're putting us on a subdomain. And we're going to be setting up geekware.jdevcloud.com in the next video as you go through Cloud Access. The final thing that you need is a content management system, and we talked about how we'll be using WordPress. One thing that I didn't cover in class that I think is an important distinction is the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. .org is what we're going to be using, and WordPress.org is where you can download the software for WordPress to use in your website. Cloud Access has it already built in. WordPress.com is very similar to Blogger, Blogspot, Medium, Ghost, all these other sort of blogging platforms where you can go and set up a subdomain and do your subdomain.wordpress.com. The downside of using WordPress.com is they don't allow you to sell things off of the website if you're using their free version. They actually want to charge you money in order to do that. And so that's why we're using cloudaccess.net, but we'll be using the WordPress.org software in Cloud Access. So to make that very clear, you're not going to be setting up a website on WordPress.com. You're in fact not even going to go to WordPress.org because Cloud Access has that already in their hosting. But it's good to understand the separation of the two and the software that we're using. Finally, I want to share with you just a quick resource. There's a great website called WPbeginner, and they have 20+ tutorials on WordPress that you can go through. We're actually going to be going through Cloud Access's tutorials because Cloud Access takes you from the very beginning and walks you through setting up a website. Whereas WPbeginner is just a bunch of videos where you might have a quick question, and instead of going through Cloud Access's tutorials, you can quickly jump over to WPbeginner and do it. You will be required to set up a username and password, but it is free to use, and it'll be something that'll be helpful for you if you get stuck. Now let's go to the next video where I walk you through how to set up a Cloud Access site.